SpaceX is pretty much a household name now for those who have taken a keen interest in space. The company's CEO is always coming up with crazy but brilliant ideas. These ideas always seem impossible, but somehow he manages to make them work. This has made him a favourite of many, and it would seem like NASA is also a fan. Today on Super Freaky Science, we're going to talk about a couple of things surrounding SpaceX, including Blue Origin's protest. What is Blue Origin's complaint? Is it valid, or can it be likened to the whines of a neglected child? Let's find out. In the battle of the billionaires, it would seem that even the super wealthy are not above throwing sarcastic quips at one another. This particular battle took off in the middle of a $2.9 billion contract to build a lunar lander for NASA. Embittered by NASA's decision to award the exclusive contract to SpaceX, Blue Origin filed a protest with the Government Accountability Office. According to the CEO of Blue Origin, Bob Smith, NASA had erred in its assessment of the proposal submitted by his company, SpaceX, and the third bidding company, Dynatex. In response to the report, Musk made a thinly veiled joke about the male anatomy, saying, "Can't get it up? To orbit, LOL." The joke also alluded to the fact that Blue Origin is yet to achieve a successful orbital spaceflight with its rockets. The battle between the two billionaires started over 15 years ago when a conversation about reusable rockets reportedly went south. Since then, the two executives have been at loggerheads with their separate plans for colonizing space. While the three companies submitted their budgets for the lunar lander, the budget submitted by SpaceX was the lowest in price. Due to budget cuts, NASA renegotiated milestone payments with the company before awarding the contract. According to a statement released by NASA explaining their reason for awarding the contract, they said, SpaceX's total evaluated price of $2,941,394,557 was the lowest among the offers by a wide margin. Blue Origin's total evaluated price was significantly higher than this, followed by Dynatex's total evaluated price, which was significantly higher than Blue Origin's. In response to Blue Origin's protest and subsequent tweets, Musk sarcastically replied with another one of his classic one-liners, "For the low price of…?" Even while trolling his competitors, SpaceX is still focused on its goals and is taking one step closer with its latest intention. They plan to send some rather interesting organisms to the International Space Station. The bobtail squid and tardigrades, also known as water bears, will be guests on their 22nd cargo mission. These organisms are going to go to the orbital outpost and answer some key questions researchers have about spaceflight. The baby bobtail squid, a relative of the cuttlefish, have an interesting organ that allows them to glow in the dark. Researchers believe that the bobtail squid can help figure out how microbes in animals react to spaceflight. According to the statement released by Jamie Foster of UMAMI, principal investigator, animals, including humans, rely on our microbes to maintain a healthy digestive and immune system. We do not fully understand how spaceflight alters these beneficial interactions. The UMAMI experiment uses a glow-in-the-dark bobtail squid to address these important issues in animal health. Tardigrades, or water bears, are known to survive in the most extreme environments. They can survive for up to 30 years without eating, and they can be frozen, boiled, squished under intense pressure, and even exposed to the vacuum and radiation of space without any ill effects. The plan is to figure out the exact genes that are involved in the adaptation and survival of tardigrades in a high-stress environment. Water bears will also help the researchers figure out if microgravity affects the symbiotic relationship between the bacteria and the squid. They also plan to analyze the formation of kidney stones. Thomas Boothby, the principal investigator, said in a statement, "Spaceflight can be a challenging environment for organisms, including humans who have evolved to the conditions on Earth. One of the things we are keen to do is understand how tardigrades are surviving and reproducing in these environments, and whether we can learn anything about the tricks that they're using and adapt them to safeguard astronauts." The initial success of transporting water plants into outer space has given NASA the confidence to try something more challenging. This time, they chose glow-in-the-dark baby squids and about 5,000 water bears to go to the International Space Station. Apart from the squids and the water bears, SpaceX also intends to carry out other scientific experiments like a portable ultrasound, remote operations of robotic arms in virtual reality, determining how kidney stones form in space, among others. The success of SpaceX and Elon Musk has become a source of concern for their competitors. According to Stefan Israel, the CEO of Iranian Space, SpaceX is launching thousands of satellites into low Earth orbit, and if care is not taken, SpaceX threatens to become the de facto monopolization of space. Recently, Musk's Starlink constellation project received authorization from the Federal Communications Commission to provide broadband from space. They also received authorization to place thousands of satellites lower than previously proposed. This granted permission does not seem to sit well with Musk's competitors, especially Amazon. SpaceX has requested authorization for 42,000 satellites, putting a great deal of pressure on its competitors, including Iranian Space, to meet up. The permission requested from the FCC will apply to 2,800 satellites from SpaceX. These satellites plan to ultimately blanket poorly connected and isolated areas of the globe with internet connectivity. According to SpaceX's rivals, the low altitudes could increase the risk of space collisions and heighten radio interference. During a UN-sponsored conference in Geneva on sustainable space development goals, Israel said that we want space to remain accessible for human activities, but we refuse a Wild West space. It's our responsibility to ensure that low orbit, less than 1,000 kilometers above Earth, is sustainable long-term. Israel also noted that over 9,000 satellites sent to the orbit since 1957, since the beginning of space exploration. Since that time, SpaceX has already sent 1,677 satellites for Starlink. This means that of all the satellites in operation today, 35% of them belong to one man, Elon Musk. When including the satellites over 50 kilograms, that is over 50%. Israel also noted when speaking about space collisions that the collision probability has increased very much, and we could very quickly find ourselves in a catastrophic scenario that would render this orbit impractical. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a comprehensive report on Blue Origin's complaint against NASA, as well as the drama surrounding the lunar lander project that NASA awarded to SpaceX. Do you also think Musk's vast progress and reach into space is something that needs to be monitored? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you let us know by clicking the buttons? You should also subscribe to the channel and be the first to see such videos as this.